How much time today, in 2018, do you dedicate to writing?
I write, I don't write in a disciplined way in like a timing thing like, oh, you know, certain hours of the day, every single day, Monday through Friday or anything like that. I'm one of those guys that sort of writes in bunches and writes certain times. So there's certain days that I don't write. I wrote 5 pages this morning. I did not do that for the benefit of the Film Courage interview. I just was like, yesterday I was like, I need to like, I really want, and I'm on rewriting this thing and I've been going around and around with it, and I started really totally different approach on this script. And so I was like, I need to start really, I have 2 projects that I'm working on right now, both of them to direct, and both of them have gone through a lot of different development, and there's people involved and already producers and stuff. So, and I want to make one of them next year. So I'm just like, I really need to like, you know, and I found myself bored, getting really frustrated with this one thing and realizing it's like, I'm at that point where I was like, I really just, oh man, I don't know if I can figure this out. And I was like, you gotta hang in there, and I did. And then I came up with a way in to open it again. And so I wrote like a page on Friday because I had this idea for the opening, so I wrote the page, and then today I wrote like 4 more pages, so I'm like around page 5. Then I sent it over to my staff. I send my pages in, and they kind of take a look at them and give me like quick feedback on like if I'm going the right direction or something like that. And then this afternoon, I'm gonna go to the other project where I'm really outlining it, because it's a heist, and so it's like I've got to do a lot of architecture stuff with it. You know, it's like, whereas this other thing is a very much like a Love Liza type of movie where there's a protagonist and they're on a mission kind of thing, and it's that kind of a piece. So it's very much an extension of like Love Liza, but in that structurally a character arc kind of thing, but I'm going to be directing it, so.
You said about getting bored, and so when you get that signal that just nothing's happening, what's your process? Do you kind of
You
sit it out?
cannot abandon it. Every script, you know, you get bored with something, that means you're actually getting somewhere with the movie. People are amateurs primarily because they can't get through the professional period of hating what they're writing, bored, frustrated, looking at every page going, I hate all these scenes. I'm like, ugh, there's no magic here. I'm not enjoying myself. It's not gratifying. So you have to suck it up and get through that period. You can't, oh, I'm bored. You're just gonna go right back to where that point is again. So everything I've ever, I mean, there's a famous quote from Kurosawa about this that I look at almost every single day, the quote, and you should put it up on your little thing with this video maybe, because people probably ask about what it is, but it's basically, he talks about every script falling into despair, and he uses the word despair. You know, and despair is a strong word, but that's exactly what that is. It's like I can't figure this out. I don't know how to figure this out. And I really want to start with this because this other thing, I know what to do with it. I'm going to start it and it's going to be okay. Not knowing that, or not remembering that everything you write, you come to that place of despair. And the artist, the writer, the director, the actor, whatever, has to walk through that period of like, that sort of desert period of the creative process, or they're not going to, you know, because then something will click. And that's what happened is I hung in there with this one thing where I was recently going, and then I came up with an image and I had some input from somebody, like just a life experience, and I had an incident, I sort of was like, what if I move it and I started over there? And I do that, and all of a sudden I had an idea, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, this is how it is. And I cracked my problem, and suddenly I was like, okay, I'm back in the saddle. I got this thing going. Now I can incorporate the other things I've been working on that I still like, but I got through that period of just discouragement.
So is that something that when you know you're, quote, in boredom, that you have a ritual for? Because I'm sure
it's not a ritual. It's just the ritual is staying patient. You know, people don't have any patience. You know, they don't have. You know, corporate structures, I think, don't allow for patience when they're making studio pictures and stuff. It doesn't. You know, it's like when they announce a release date and the script's not done. Well, that's counterintuitive, actually. You know, because you're not. That's like, okay, I'm going to show you this, but I haven't written it yet. That creates dysfunction. And so that's why I think a lot of bets are off, and that's why you have projects not really work out. You go to a movie, you go into the theater, and you're like, what just happened there? And it's very difficult, so because it really eliminates the principle of patience. Because you're not going to be like, well, let's pump the brakes. This thing needs about 6 more months. I got to figure this out. Can we move this release date back for 1.5 years, you know, and tell the Disney stockholders that, you know, the Star Wars movie is not going to come out for 4 years because we want to make sure that the script is good, you know, and that's not gonna work. So, and that's okay, and it doesn't mean that you can. I mean, the guys who wrote Casablanca, I mean, you know, you can write under duress, and it can be successful. Having deadlines and structure is fine. I mean, it's like, but overall, when you are stuck, having patience and being like, do not give up, do not relent, hang in there, and don't like change gears, just hang in there. And I did, and it didn't, a couple weeks, it was maybe a little bit of time, but I was kind of going, oh God. And then all of a sudden, but I kept telling myself, no, just keep hanging in there. Like, what can you do here? You're not going to move off this. You have to finish. There's nothing palatable about working on this script at all. It's just, there's nothing there. You want to start working on something else. You have a number of ideas that you're so much sexier, attractive, you want to jump into, but it's like, you can't let go of this. You have to hang in there. So I always so whatever the process is, doesn't matter. It's just exhibiting patience and realizing it's like, if you hang in there, the path is going to open up. According to Kurosawa, the path will open up, and then you'll be like, oh, and then the light bulb will go off in it. And that's what's happened with everything, really.
Apocalypse Now, you don't want it to become your, what is it, Heart of Darkness? Or did you see the documentary?
Yeah. You know, it's really good, but that's also part. But I think that, I mean, absolutely. I mean, if anything, you know, what Coppola was doing with Apocalypse Now was having patience and hanging in there. Because there were a lot of places you want to give up, but you have to fight, you know, you have to fight through knowing and also maintaining, like, no, I have to tell the truth. I want to be original. I want to be compelling. I want to make imaginative choices. I'm not going to like, because, you know, to get through the darkness, you're bored or you're stuck because you're not giving up and you're not like compromising. You know, you're not saying, well, no, let's just shoot it anyways. It's good enough. It's already done. Who cares if we haven't figured out the third act? Let's just do it. It's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I had a filmmaker say to me once, Gordy, it doesn't have to be perfect. And it's like, you're right. It's never going to be perfect. But what it's implying is like a little bit of like disregard of like, who cares if you know something is kind of crap, or it does not believable, or it's not logical, you know, or it's not vulnerable, or it's not clear, or whatever. All the problems. If you're aware of problems, but you're like, well, who cares? You know, then you're not going to make somebody's favorite movie that way, right? So